There is Mike Tomlin, 3-1 in the regular season against the Ravens, and then beat them in the AFC Championship game last year. Good things happened to these teams today because Jacksonville lost, Miami lost, and Houston lost, and there is the wild card race at the moment. Denver at 7-4 after their Thanksgiving night win over the Giants, and Pittsburgh trying to go to 7-4. Billy Cundiff, who was signed just last week, will kick off. Baltimore won the toss and they deferred. So what they're basically saying is, all right, we'll take a look at Dennis Dixon right off the bat.
Absolutely, why not?
Stephon Logan is back to run it back, and there's Roethlisberger with communication to Bruce Arians. Ken Anderson, the quarterback's coach. Dixon ready to make his starting debut. Played in one game last year and threw one pass. It was a completion to Hines Ward. Ray Lewis champing at the bit. He can't wait to get out there. And here we go from Baltimore. Cundiff's kick. Logan has it at the 2-yard line. And Logan brings it back up to the 31-yard line. Dewan Landry makes the tackle, and that's the first time the Steelers have not started their regular 5 along the offensive front this year. And they begin with a run, and we figure to see a lot of running tonight as Mendenhall picks up 5. Dixon is from San Leandro, California, in the East San Francisco Bay Area, went to Oregon. He was actually a baseball player as well, drafted by the Cincinnati Reds out of high school, didn't sign. Then drafted by the Atlanta Braves and did sign, and played 1 year of rookie ball in the Braves organization. So the 5th-round draft choice out of Oregon, with his dad and his sister having flown in to watch the game, leads them up on a 2nd down and 4. And Mendenhall, he will go nowhere. He runs right into Tavares Gooden, number 56. And now Dixon will face his first 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 4.
No, Tavares Gooden, he's already figured out what they're going to do here. They're expecting run all the way, and they're going to get it. He's just going to jump up in the hole and make the play. Jared Johnson came through on the other side and took care of the lead back as well. The physical nature of this one has begun.
Moelde Moore is the Steeler 3rd down back. He flanks Dixon in the backfield. Mike Wallace in the game as well, the rookie wide receiver. 3 receivers set to the right, and then it is tipped, and he's lucky it wasn't intercepted. He tried to flip it over the middle. Jared Johnson and Dwan Edwards came charging through, batted it away, and Pittsburgh starts with a 3-and-out.
Well, you know the young quarterback's going to get some easy ones at first. They try to go tight end screen, and Jarrett Johnson just barely missed getting this football. A very low release. That's one thing you will see out of Dennis Dixon.
And Sepulveda's kick is fielded at the 25-yard line. And it's an 18-yard run back by Chris Carr. Flag down. Ed Hockley is the referee. He will give us the call. Flacco ready to come out. The ball at the moment is at the 43-yard line.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, Baltimore, number 28. 15-yard penalty. Baltimore keeps the ball, 1st and 10.
Tom Zbikowski costing them 15 yards to the displeasure of 2nd-year head coach John Harbaugh.
Here comes Zbikowski in late right there. That last little hit, the NFL will not allow you to come in and clean up at the pile. And Zbikowski there took a shot. Not a huge shot, especially for this kind of a game.
From the 27-yard line, here is Joe Flacco in his 2nd year. Great rookie season. Helped guide them to the AFC Championship game. And Baltimore starts on the ground. Talk about Michael Orr as the night goes on, of course, because he is very much in the news with the movie The Blind Side. And Flacco's pass was caught by Ray Rice at the 30-yard line. He's tackled there by Lawrence Timmons. Flacco has not thrown a touchdown pass in the last 3 games, and the Ravens have had a lot of trouble in the first half. Take a look at that. Only 7 offensive touchdowns in 50 drives, and none in the last 34 in the first halves of games, which means they've been behind a lot.
And Joe Flacco doesn't have a touchdown pass in his last 3.
On 3rd down and 7, Flacco throws, and in the seam he finds Kelly Washington. Washington has been their big guy on 3rd downs this season. He loves to go to Washington, and that's 14 times he's gone to him on a 3rd down pass and 14 first downs out of those 14 throws.
Watch how quickly Joe Flacco gets rid of this football. He's not going to wait on that pass rush, but it's interesting that Kelly Washington got the first throw. The coaching staff of the Ravens, they've been on Joe Flacco for throwing the ball too much to Derek Mason, who comes to Washington first.
From the 45-yard line, play action. Stepping up and stepping away, gets hit as he throws, and it's caught at the 35-yard line by Mark Clayton. And that's good for 20 yards after a 15-yard reception on the prior play. James Harrison put the pressure on Flacco, but he's able to get it away.
Trying to block James Harrison with Todd Heap, and Harrison almost got there around the edge. Flacco's going to get hit as he throws, but that's one of the strengths of that young man. He has an incredibly high quarterback rating when they're making contact on him.
Now at the Pittsburgh 35, they go to Clayton again, and that will be another first down as Troy Polamalu sprained knee, the 2nd time he's had a knee injury this season, and he's missed about half of the action, so he's on the bench, as well as Roethlisberger on the other side. On 1st and 10, breaking through the middle is Ray Rice to set up a 1st and goal. So that is 4 consecutive first downs for the Ravens on 4 plays. That's good for 20 yards. McLean, the fullback, leads the way with a block.
Look out here. They had 2 linebackers. They've got Timmons, and they've got Harrison coming over. Joe Flacco saw it, checked to that run, and they almost scored.
Quick pace for the Ravens, and they flip it to Rice, and Rice gets taken down by William Gay, the corner coming up to stop him. That's a gain of 1. It will be 2nd down and goal.
A little bit of a counter read on this one. They go unbalanced left with an offensive lineman over on this side and then go the other direction. So the Steelers overload that way. They try and catch him out the back door, but a good read that time backside.
Now Willis McGahee comes in as the running back. They use Halote Nata as well, and that's he at the tight end spot coming in motion. The pass to the outside is caught at the 3-yard line by Willis McGahee, but Ryan Clark is right there to stop him, and now it'll be 3rd down and goal.
Well, one of the problems you have is trying to score touchdowns in the red zone against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They come out and go run on the 1st down, and of course Troy Polamalu not in there, and he has been so much a key to this defense for so many years, but especially this year, major difference when he's in there in the turnovers they get.
Ravens very successful in the goal-to-go situations, and they will be again here. Willis McGahee for the touchdown. McGahee with his 6th rushing touchdown and 8th touchdown overall this season.
Great job over there on the left-hand side. Chris Chester, who lost his starting job this week, but was able to pin James Harrison on the ground, and that allowed just enough room for the Ravens to get in for the touchdown.
Well, Cundiff for the point after. Cundiff to kick off, and Logan to return it for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Logan comes up, fields at the 10, runs into his own man, tackled at the 27, and Dixon throws to the outside, and that's caught by Ward. But for Dennis Dixon, Chris, I mean, from San Leandro, California, goes to Oregon, makes his debut, starting debut, primetime, big game against the Ravens. Toto, we're not in San Leandro anymore.
Yeah, I asked offensive coordinator Bruce Arians, what do you think? He said, well, Dennis Dixon hasn't had a heart attack yet, so it's a good sign.
Gain of 6. That catch by Ward, his first, obviously, of the night last year when Dixon completed that one pass. It was to Ward, and that was the 800th of Ward's career last season against the Browns. And they give it to Rashard Mendenhall, and Mendenhall picks up enough for a first down up at the 37-yard line.
Well, one of the big, powerful guys playing tackle in this game, Willie Colon, right out here on the outside. They're just going to have to man up. They're going to have to get some movement with this running game because everybody in the stadium, including the guys on the field for the Ravens, know the Pittsburgh Steelers want to run the football tonight with Dennis Dixon at quarterback.
Dixon part of a spread attack at Oregon, where he was a serious contender for the Heisman Trophy in '07 before he tore his ACL late in the year. And a good spin move by Mendenhall, who has taken over for Willie Parker. And that's another interesting story with the Steelers this year. Parker's in his contract year. They were looking for Mendenhall to really make a move. And there is Willie, who's been limited to spot duty lately. So they wanted Mendenhall to come on. He had some trouble early on, and Mike Tomlin read him the riot act after the second week of the season. But then Parker had turf toe. Mendenhall came in against San Diego in early October, and the job's been his since. Second down and 5. Mendenhall again, and this time he can spin his way only for about a yard. You know that Lewis is a senior citizen. I think he's the first guy from Miami ever to call it the University of Miami and not the U.
It's like a throwback jersey.
3rd and 3. Dixon's going to step up, and he can run, and he shows it right here, but there are flags as he took off, and for the moment he gets down to the 23-yard line, but there's a penalty marker all the way back at the 39. That would be a 31-yard run, but
Holding offense in the offensive backfield. 10-yard penalty to keep 3rd down.
Well, Mewaldy Moore is the guy that was in the offensive backfield. It also looked like Justin Hartwig, the center, may be the real culprit here. The Ravens, not unexpectedly, come with the blitz early on, and you can see Hartwig with his arm wrapped around Trevor Price, and that's too bad because for Dennis Dixon, that was one of those let's get our feet on the ground kind of plays, and maybe it'll slow down that blitz a little bit, though. That was a nice run.
That may have served its purpose anyway, despite the flag for Dixon. 6 defensive backs on 3rd and 13. Ravens show blitz. And it's a draw. And this is Moore, and he'll go nowhere. Jared Johnson will get credit for the tackle, and Sepulveda will come in for his second punt.
Well, Jarrett Johnson, who is the best pass rusher on this Ravens team, coming off the end, number 95 there, is going to come in and make the play. But while that may be a conservative call, if Ben Roethlisberger's in the game, it's the right call with Dennis Dixon on 3rd and 13.
Daniel Sepulveda kicking it toward Chris Carr. Carr fields at the 14. 20-yard line. Flacco. On first down, will hand the ball off, and stopped in the backfield this time is Ray Rice. The tackle is made behind the line of scrimmage. William Gay makes the stop. Pittsburgh is number 1 this season against the rush. That means they've allowed the fewest rushing yards per game, and they're number 1 in total defense as well. And as you can see, the Steeler defense allowing only 3.4 yards per rush. That's the best in the NFL. And of course, 71-year-old Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator. Screen, and this time it's McLean, who was their leading ground gainer last season, and he takes it up to the 28, a couple of yards shy of the first. Farrier makes the tackle.
Well, they've been trying to do some things with Tyrone Carter that they do with Troy Polamalu. He's going to come right off the side here, and the Ravens have the perfect call on. Screen right to the safety blitz side, and right now Cam Cameron seems to have Dick LeBeau's number. He has really mixed it up so far. They have worked hard to try and get the ball to other receivers other than Derek Mason, and so far that strategy seems to have the Steelers a little offbeat.
3rd down and 2. Flacco has time, throws to the outside, and that's incomplete. Good coverage on the play by the secondary. That's Carter locking up with the tight end L.J. Smith, and that's a 3 and out for the Ravens.
And a very significant drive that time for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, because the last thing in the world you want to do is to force Dennis Dixon into a game that he's not comfortable with. They don't want to have to drop back and throw the ball. Keep it close, keep it manageable, and let Dennis Dixon get his feet on the ground.
That was Flacco's first incomplete pass. He's 6 out of 7. Sam Cook is the Baltimore punter. And it's hauled in and fair caught at the 27-yard line. Greg Madison, who has replaced Rex Ryan as the defensive coordinator. And that's a pretty good defense that he inherits. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and company. Steelers now from the 26-yard line on 1st down. And the handoff here goes to Willie Parker. So Parker comes in on the 3rd series after we see Mendenhall. And Parker, as I mentioned before, Chris, playing very sparingly, only 15 carries in the last 5 games.
Yeah, but he's had the turf toe for a while and really hurt his effectiveness. But clearly now Mendenhall's the #1 back. Parker's going to come in and spell him every once in a while. But for Willie Parker, he may well be auditioning for other teams at this point.
2nd down and 3. And Parker, who owns the longest run in Super Bowl history, 75 yards in the win over Seattle and Detroit after the 05 season, gets tackled by Ray Lewis. 3rd and short.
Big number 92 is going to be a huge factor. Haloti Ngata in there taking on that double team and maintain just enough to allow Ray Lewis to come in late and make the hit. A key 3rd down now.
This crowd gets into a fever pitch on 3rd and short, don't they?
Steeler week.
With that defense, why not? 3rd and 1. Through the middle again, and this is Parker bumping his way for a 1st down. He gets 2 yards, goes in behind a 3 tight end setup. Miller Spaeth and David Johnson, rookie out of Arkansas State, all in there on that play. 1st down.
2 plays ago. Let's go back and watch Hines Ward and Jarrett Johnson going at it. All right, there's a takedown. Then you get the reversal. And you get, I mean, that's what it's going to be. I'm just telling you, this is not really a football game. Hines Ward was telling me before the game, he said, if you don't come out of this game completely beat up and sore, you haven't played. He says, I want to be really sore at the end of this game.
Almost guaranteed. Play clock down to 1. Dixon flips it out. This is Holmes, Santonio Holmes, Super Bowl hero, making his first grab of the night, and he is out of bounds near midfield. 1st down. Dixon, 2nd year with the Steelers. He was the Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Year in 07 before he tore up his knee. Sociology major at Oregon. And we talked about the Reds drafting him. He didn't sign with them in 03, and then the Braves drafted him in the 5th round in 07 and spent that 1 summer in rookie ball. 2nd and 2. And Parker for a 1st down. We talked about Dixon, and he's now got 1/4 in the books and has his team near midfield as the period expires. 2nd quarter about to begin. 1st and 10. Steelers at the 48-yard line. Willie Parker still in the back. Fake to him. Dixon has time. Dixon throws, and that's caught at the 34-yard line. Hines Ward tackled by Landry. Good throw, and of course the ever-smiling Ward comes up after an 18-yard reception.
Well, when you run the football, play action ends up working out on the other side. The Steelers have a couple of favorite runs inside where they like to pull the left guard, usually Chris Kemuatu. But this time it was Ramon Foster pulling out in front, and I think the defense of the Ravens now are starting to read those guards because they've been so successful running the football.
Little sidearm, short arm action from him. Dixon Rolls out of the pocket, then throws. Wide open, 13-yard line. Santonio Holmes trying to get into the end zone and does. Touchdown. 33 yards. Woo. Dad's excited. Roethlisberger is excited. And Pittsburgh an extra point away from tying the game.
Heck, I'm a little excited up here. We got nice job that time by Dennis Dixon. They get him out of the pocket, Al. That's what we're talking about. At Oregon, he was so dynamic. He had a chance to win the Heisman Trophy because of his mobility. Santonio Holmes with a great adjustment back and then getting the ball in the end zone. And now we have a little Steelers-Ravens. Everybody's fired up.
Yeah. There's Bruce Arians behind Roethlisberger, the offensive coordinator. Foxworth with the coverage ran rings around him and then pushed him away at the goal line. And Reed comes in for the extra point. Holder is Sepulveda. And the game is tied. James Harrison goes back on special teams. They have allowed 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the last 5 games, including on the opening kickoff in Kansas City last week. So this has been a major problem. And this is Lavarius Webb, who gets taken down at the 24-yard line. Flag on the play. That's Carey Davis. Also plays fullback for the Steelers. And Ed Hockley will give us the call.
James Harrison ran down there like he was a rookie trying to make the team.
During the return, holding by the receiving team number 15. A 10-yard penalty. Baltimore keeps the ball. First down.
John Harbaugh has done a great job. Took him to the AFC Championship game as a rookie head coach. The owner of the team, Steve Bisciotti, after Brian Billick left following the 07 season, told his general manager, Ozzie Newsome, in effect, he said, hey, can you find me the next Mike Tomlin? Well, Harbaugh got off to a pretty good start since he and Tomlin faced each other in the AFC Championship game last year. Ravens begin from the 10 after the penalty, and they give it to McGahee, who takes it up to the 16-yard line.
You know, and Willis McGahee is a guy who has sort of become the backup back here as well to Ray Rice. And talking to John Harbaugh about him, he said, you know, I can tell in the first couple of plays of the game whether I'm going to play him or not. If he's in that mode where he's going to run up in there and bounce it to the outside, he's going to be standing next to me. If he crams it up in there and uses 220-something pounds behind him, he said he's going to play a lot.
2nd and 4, they go with an unbalanced line this time. Last year they had a 3-headed rushing attack. McLean was their leading ground gainer, and then McGahee was second, and Rice was number 3. And this year it's been flipped. Rice is 1. McGahee backs Rice up, and McLean is a fullback.
And I think Ray Rice is going to be a superstar in this league. Think Maurice Jones-Drew when you think of Ray Rice. He can do everything.
Leads the team in rushing and receptions. 3rd and 1 from the 29-yard line. And this is McGahee over right tackle. Ben Grubbs helping to lead the way as well. That'll be a first down.
Again, Troy Polamalu would do this if he's in the game, but now it's Tyrone Carter is going to come up right here in the gap, and they run right at it. That's a play. If you're going to be right there, you hope that you can hold the point, because defensively, Dick LeBeau's made the right call, but Carter got blocked out of the hole that time.
Each team with 95 total yards, 17 minutes and change into the game. And Willis McGahee again takes the ball up to the 26-yard line.
Well, we've talked a little bit about the movie star Michael Orr over here making the play. This guy has really made an impression on me. He's a rookie, but you have watched him during the course of this season really grow up. A physical player, amazingly quick feet. Last week against the Indianapolis Colts, of course, Mathis and Freeney, neither one of them got a sack against these 2 young tackles for the Ravens.
2nd and 7, play action. And then that pass is thrown away. Derek Mason down the sideline, and he's blanketed by Ike Taylor. Flacco is now 6 of his first 8 for 59 yards.
Oh, Michael Orr again, number 74 right there. Watch his hand placement here as he gets inside and does all that sort of chicken fighting and all that stuff. He has quick feet. He has really strong hands. And that combination, let's face it, Michael Orr was brought here specifically to block LaMarr Woodley. That's the guy. They had to get the Pittsburgh Steelers blocked on the outside. They draft Michael Orr, and they're ready to see this matchup.
First round pick out of Ole Miss. 3rd and 7. And that pass is incomplete, and the crowd wants a flag, and they look around, and there is no yellow. Mark Clayton covered by Tyrone Carter, and it's 4th down.
Let's complete the trilogy here. Michael Orr on the outside. Watch how quickly he gets off the football. LaMarr Woodley was saying, I'm not so sure this guy's not jumping off sides. He anticipates so well. But he said he watched Orlando Pace, and that was what made Orlando Pace so great. That quickness off the ball gave him an edge, and that's exactly what he's trying to do.
Sam Cook to kick. Stephon Logan back to receiver. Second boot of the night. Logan from the 24. Tries to find a crease. Ray Lewis loves Phil Collins.
That's his song right there. He said when he hit that drum beat, he goes, I'm ready to play. After that, he's been using that song to get him ready for a long time.
Even pumps him up in day games. Mendenhall picking up 7 yards. Parker was in on the last series, and that resulted in a touchdown. Holmes scoring. By the way, Holmes has now scored a touchdown in 5 consecutive regular season games against the Ravens, and another one in the AFC Championship game.
I tell you what, the Steelers have a plan, don't they? They're going to go run, 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 and then back to the play action. That's exactly what they did the last drive, and it worked.
Santonio Holmes, Super Bowl MVP last year. 2nd down and 3 from the 37-yard line. Big hole from Mendenhall, running right through that Raven defense to the 48-yard line. He just followed Justin Hartwig, the center, and that's a gallop of 15 and a 1st down.
Key block here is the center. Justin Hartwig's going to get up here on Ray Lewis. Anytime your center can get up to the linebackers after securing that other block, maybe a little hold there as well, that is the key to it. But the Steelers now are establishing something on the ground, which is taking pressure off of Dennis Dixon and setting up some play action.
7 carries, 39 yards for Mendenhall. From the Raven 48, Dixon trips. Hands it off, gain of 1. Let's go back to that play action, Chris.
Yeah, the Steelers on the last drive, about 5 out of the first 6 plays run, and then they go with their favorite run action, pulling that guard out and hit the play action in behind when Dwan Landry came up. Same thing, next play. Here you go, a little bootleg action off of that same play fake. Throw it back across the grain to Santonio Holmes for the touchdown.
Second and 9. Mendenhall to the 44-yard line. The Steelers thriving on play action. Of course, that means Roethlisberger. Take a look at these numbers here. He threw only 2 incomplete passes off play action. His rating an almost perfect number right there. 4 touchdowns, no picks. So Ben, fabulous on play action. And fabulous when he rolled out of the pocket.
It's not as good a rating as Dennis Dixon has right now, though.
3rd and 7. You've got Mewelde Moore in as the 3rd down back. Dixon will take the snap out of the gun. Extra protection now in the backfield with him. Here come the Ravens. Dixon steps up, throws. Holmes makes the catch. And Santonio, they'll give him forward progress at the spot of a 1st down as he beats Dominique Foxworth. But Dixon feeling the pressure, taking that 1 step up. Ed Reed on a safety blitz, 1st down Pittsburgh.
I love this. They're all trying to help Dennis Dixon. Watch the center, Justin Hartwig and Mewelde Moore say, you do see these 2 guys coming over here to the left, don't you? Everybody trying to pitch in and give him a hand. Hines Ward said, listen, I know this is new stuff for him. Every time I see a blitz, I'm going to be pointing it out. There's going to be no doubt who we're reading hot off of.
Bunch 3 to the right. Keep it on the ground. Nothing doing there from Mendenhall. Runs right into Haloti Ngata.
Boy, I tell you what, Haloti Ngata is something special inside. That time Trey Essex got a full mouthful, and Nada was not to be moved. Right here in the middle of your screen, just one of the biggest, strongest. Holy cow, that was a one-arm bench press that time of Trey Essex. Better run the other way.
Nada's met Dixon before. They were teammates at Oregon.
There you go.
How do you do?
Wow.
2nd down and 10. From the 37-yard line. 2nd down and 10 at the Raven 37-yard line. And this is Holmes on a screen. He can't get out of the grasp of Webb. We talked about the father and sister of Dixon at the game tonight. His mother died about 6 years ago. She died of breast cancer. She was 46 years old. And he has a tattoo on his arm that says, "I'll holla," which was what he and his mom used to say to each other when they ended phone conversations. Dad insists. 3rd down and 11 at the 38-yard line. Flushed out. And he just throws it away, and you got a flag here. Ray Lewis blitzing that time. Hockley with a call in a moment.
There was no intentional grounding. The quarterback was out of the pocket, got the ball back to the line of scrimmage. There was, however, holding defense number 92. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
Holote Naka.
Lodi Nada right here gets a defensive hold. Sometimes when teams are blitzing, you'll see the grab. Yeah, they're trying to free up Jarrett Johnson inside. No question about it. Great call by the officials. You can see the grab and the hold there against Ramon Foster. Boy, that is a tough call to make, but the officials got it, and it was the right call.
Right on top of it, trying to hold Foster, the rookie out of Tennessee, starting for the injured Kemayaku. 6.5. 70,000 booing the call. Or about 62,000. Probably about 8,000 Steeler fans here tonight.
At least.
Always are on the road. And under pressure, Dixon throws that one incomplete. Crowd wants intentional grounding, won't get it. Webb with the blitz, and let's check in with Andrea.
Well, I just wanted to add one quick story to what you were talking about Dixon's mom. I talked to him before the game, and of course he told me he had jitters, but he said he has the same pregame routine that he always has. Talks to his mom. He said everything he does is dedicated to her, and she's always in his thoughts, as we saw after he threw that touchdown pass.
That was a good play by Dixon, getting that thing out of there. They came with a corner blitz, and he saw it, and the crowd wanted intentional grounding, didn't get it.
2nd and 10. Mendenhall swings to the outside and gets whacked, flagged down. Tackle made at the 31-yard line.
10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
They're hitting and holding out here tonight. That time Matt Spaeth on the end of the line of scrimmage. Sometimes you get surprised. I think when Mendenhall bounced that one outside, Spaeth was a little surprised because it was supposed to be run up inside of him, but as it bounces to the outside, he said, "What the heck here?" And he has to kind of grab hold, grabs the jersey right there. But look at the hits on the tail end of this. I tell you, this Ladarius Webb, I really like that young man. He's not big at all, but I've already seen him lay 2 or 3 good hits out here tonight, and he's had a bunch the last couple of games.
They lost Fabian Washington, their starting corner, to a torn ACL in last week's game. 2nd down and 20 from the 43-yard line. Swing it out to Mendenhall. Tries to cut it back inside. Spins his way to the 41-yard line for a gain of 2. DeJuan Edwards makes the tackle. That'll set up a 3rd down and 18.
Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, asked Dennis Dixon, "Give me your favorite 15 plays tonight." And I get the feeling that about 5 of them were screen passes. Because Bruce said, I'm going to stick to those 15. I want to do what he's comfortable doing out there on the field. And don't be surprised at all if this is a draw, a run, and just punt the football. They probably need about 7-8 yards for a good shot at a field goal, though.
3rd and 18. Looking at his wristband with all of the plays. And now you've got a timeout being taken here. Bruce Arians is the man who called that timeout, the offensive coordinator before that 3rd down and 18 play. And now with 1 timeout left in the half, Pittsburgh on 3rd and 18. Blitz through the middle. Dixon gets it away to the outside, juggled, caught, and then Holmes stays in bounds as long as he can and is going to be very close to a 1st down. Ray Lewis leading the charge through the middle, and what a great job by Holmes with the catch and then the toe dance and then a flag late.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yep. Noeldy Moore that time was about to get run over by Ray Lewis, and he pulled him to the ground, and boy, that takes away a great effort that time by Dennis Dixon.
Holding offense, number 21, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
3rd and 28 now.
There's Ray right over here coming up, and he just runs over Noeldy Moore. Noeldy had no choice but to take him down. That takes a good shot at 3 points or better off the board with that one. Santonio Holmes made a brilliant catch. It looked like he had the 1st down.
Instead, 3rd and 28. The ball is back at the Pittsburgh 49-yard line. This time, again he goes to Holmes, and Holmes gets spun down at the 40-yard line, so they're not in field goal range. Foxworth makes the tackle. It'll be 4th and 16.
I'll tell you what, though, I think Bruce Arians is becoming a believer. We got 3rd down and about 675 yards to go, and he lets his young quarterback drop back and throw it. Take a look at this motion now. He really doesn't get it very high at all. We were watching the difference between he and Roethlisberger in pregame warm-up, and so far he's been pretty efficient with that stroke.
Fair caught by Carr at the 11-yard line. But our boss, Dick Ebersol, provided us with a screening last week in Chicago. We went to the movies on Saturday morning.
It was great, popcorn and everything.
So that was a good movie. Did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. And I tell you, after meeting Michael, the thing that impressed me the most about him was what he did to survive before he met the Tuohys. He was one of 13 children, and basically he couldn't go to school that often. He had to go out and try and find food and odd jobs and try and help his brothers and sisters.
From the 11-yard line on 1st down, Flacco will throw to the outside, and that'll be caught. Trying to get out of bounds is Derek Mason. He went to see the movie. A lot of the Ravens haven't. Steve Bisciotti, the owner, hasn't seen it. Neither has John Harbaugh. And it's our understanding Bob Costas was talking to Michael in an interview the other day. He wasn't happy with the way he was portrayed as a kid, his technique and all of the rest. But you know what that's called? Cinematic license.
Yeah, they said it made it look like I didn't know anything about football. He said, I've been playing football since 8th grade. You know, what are they trying to say with that?
1st and 10 from the 22. And it's a hole there for LaRon McLean, who takes it up to the 27-yard line.
And if you saw the movie, though, you know that Leanne Toohey with the mom was sort of the central figure of this whole thing. And apparently when Joe Flacco met Leanne Toohey, hold on. Come on, Ed, you're killing me.
Yeah. Come on, Ed. Don't be taking cinematic license on us now.
I could have shown the movie by now.
There was not a foul. 65 had reported eligible, and he was covered. He was not covered on the line. It was a legal play.
After all that, keep going.
When Joe Flacco met Leanne Toohey, the first thing she said, she goes, "Aren't you Joe Flacco?" And he goes, "Yes, ma'am, nice to meet you." He said, "You need to get rid of the ball quicker." And if you saw the movie, you know that makes perfect sense.
Sent it to him in an elevator in San Diego, week 2 of the season. Ray Rice is the back, and they give it to him on 2nd and 5. And that'll be a 1st down. And just to button up the story, Flacco then tells Michael, "I met your mom, and this is what she said." And at the end of the game, there is Leanne Tui seeing Flacco, and she says, okay, who's the tattletale?
Great story, though. Amazing that it's come this far and that he's the player that he is now. And he's in a battle out there tonight.
3 minutes to the half. Game tied at 7. Ball at the 35-yard line, first down. Play fake. Pressure. Flacco gets it away. Hit from behind, and that pass is incomplete. Intended for Derek Mason as James Harrison comes around the corner. And when James Harrison comes around the corner, you know it.
Well, and you're not going to block him with a fullback, LaRon McClain. Check out Harrison over here. They're trying to put LaRon McClain on the outside. And
illegal formation offense. Number 74 was on the end of the line. Did not report eligible. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
We still haven't finished the Michael Orr story.
No, you gotta, if you're going to switch over and play the tight end position and play an eligible receiver, you've got to tell Ed Hockley or he throws the flag at you. And Michael's looking for a little explanation now.
Packers are number 1 in penalty yards per game. Ravens second. I think part of it, too, they've been playing a little bit of unbalance. He's been lining up next to Gaither as well.
Yeah, he has, and he moved late that time. I don't know if it was a mistake or they're just using kind of a motion out of that. You saw the Ravens there back out of the huddle. Remember, you can't have 12 men in the huddle at the same time, so when they made that late substitution, they had to, everybody sort of backs out of the huddle, and then you reassemble.
When there's a substitute to the huddle, the defense has an opportunity to match up.
So once the Ravens substituted, they had to give the Steelers time to substitute.
As Hockley tells us on his way to the ball, play clock goes back to 25, and Flacco with that pump fake, and Flacco going deep downfield, and that pass is caught inside the 20-yard line by Mark Clayton, who had to wait for it. A little underthrown. He got behind the defender, and then finally it is Clark with it, who he gets by, and it's a 55-yard gain.
We're going to show you William Gay on the outside, but actually it's Ryan Clark, the safety. When Ryan Clark flipped his hips to the inside, that was a great read by Joe Flacco. And once again, the Baltimore Ravens felt like that they could consistently get by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their problem was Troy Polamalu kept making the play. Well, he's not out there tonight.
Officially a 54-yard gain to the 16-yard line, and now back to the ground, and this is Rice, who's able to plug his way. Look at the numbers of the two quarterbacks. Flacco with 54 of those on that last pass, and he throws a fade into the end zone that is caught for a touchdown by Derek Mason.
You've been setting up the throw to Derek Mason all night by throwing to other guys on the field one-on-one against the Steelers' best cover guy, and Derek Mason, the veteran. And I believe that's his first touchdown ever against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Absolutely.
Had a streak going into this, the longest number of games and number of catches anybody has ever had without a touchdown against one team. Scratch that one off the record books now.
That's the 80th career catch he has made against Pittsburgh, and the first time he's gotten into the end zone. 14-7 Baltimore. And when you look at the records of these two teams, 5-5 for the Ravens, 6-4 for Pittsburgh. This is a very big game for Pittsburgh, but a critical game for the Ravens. You drop to 5-6, then you're saying you got to pretty much run the table to get into the playoffs. And they still have a game at Pittsburgh to come.
Mike Taylor can't believe he gave up that play.
That was Mason's second catch of the night. Flacco's now thrown for 134 yards in the half. Steelers will get the ball. They're down to just one timeout. 3-yard line, Stephon Logan. And they do a nice job in coverage there. To the 26-yard line. The play before the touchdown we'll go back to right here.
Now watch Ryan Clark right here open his hips to the inside when he sees Todd Heap coming down the middle. He's in great position right here, but when he opens those hips, to run now after Todd Heap. Now he has to flip and turn. Joe Flacco saw it. He took a shot, and it paid off big to set up that touchdown.
From the 25. Start out of the gun with Mewelde Moore flanking Dixon. Inside handoff to Moore. Get him by the shirt. After a gain of 3, Frank Walker making the stop. Under a minute and a half to go now.
Well, Dennis Dixon in college, this was the formation he ran, essentially. This shotgun, they never went under center to take a snap, never really huddled up, so he's very comfortable in this type of a setting.
Not showing a lot of urgency here. I think the Steelers would love to be able to maybe get into field goal range, but do everything to avoid a terrible mistake and put them down by more than 7. Inside handoff again, and this is Moore. And he gets tackled to the 26-yard line. Now the Baltimore Ravens can start to think about if they would like to take a timeout on defense. And they do. Right.
That was that screen run. Yep, right. It was. Yep. That's exactly. Did you see him say that? He turned and looked at me, and that's what.
Timeout taken there defensively as the Ravens try to conserve some of the clock, knowing that Pittsburgh trying to go into the locker room down by 7, has a 3rd and 9 now. Carey Davis lines up in the backfield, and they give it to him, and then Davis takes off and picks up a first down to the 40-yard line, and that's big because it means that Pittsburgh can pretty much run the clock out here. 14 yards.
I asked Bruce Arians specifically if he had this play, and he said, oh no, this is the old college option. Come in there, you just read that out, going to hand it off that time to Carey Davis. I think the Ravens were thinking that Dixon was going to come out on the other side of it. He didn't. That's a huge first down. Now you can go to work a little.
And that's the first carry of the season for Davis, and that's the second carry of the season for Davis, and that's the way that they'll go to the locker room. Quarterback comparison. As you can see,
wow,
both. You know, we know that quarterback ratings are confusing and all that, but we just show them to you because 150 and change is perfect. And what it means is you just compare it to what the ultimate would be, and it gives you an idea. When you're up there, it means you're good. You're having a good night.
Yep.
Simple as that.
I tell you, a high B+ for me so far for Dennis Dixon. I come in here in a hostile crowd like that, throw the ball away he has, and he's had a couple big ones called back.
Baltimore gets the second half kick. They deferred after winning the toss. And Lardarius Webb brings the ball back to the 23-yard line. And let's check in with Andrea.
Well, Al, I asked Mike Tomlin to assess Dennis Dixon. He said, I'm not worried about Dixon. I'm worried about our whole football team. We're giving up too many big plays. Dixon is playing just as we thought he would. Now, John Harbaugh told me they have to play Dixon the way they would Ben. Control his scrambling, his running. Harbaugh said, our key is keep our poise. Let them make the mistakes. We'll take advantage.
All right, both coaches weighing in at halftime as Baltimore has it right now at the 23-yard line, first down. Ray Rice is the running back. That's McLean is the fullback, and McLean with a block, and Rice is able to take it all the way out to the 39-yard line. Marshall Yanda, the right guard, with a good block on the play. That's a gain of 16 to start the third quarter.
We've been talking about him all night. Watch Michael Orr here against one of the really good veteran players in this game. Look at how he just locks on, stays with him, drives him into the ground, finishes. And Ray Rice, watch out for him in the second half. He's a great closer.
Play fake, pass to the outside. That's caught, and then the ball comes loose. Will it stay in bounds as Pittsburgh is able to recover it? And it is Tyrone Carter who, with a live ball, is able to run it back a couple of yards. But the question is right now, is it a completed pass? Is it a completed pass is the question. That's the ruling on the field, but let's take another look here.
Oh, no question about it. That's a 2 feet down, take a step. No question, that's a completed pass. I agree. That was the only issue left on that play, but pretty sophisticated by the Pittsburgh Steelers at the tail end of this thing. When it gets kicked down there close to the sideline, they didn't dive on it and slide out of bounds as we've seen so many people do in this league. They stopped, made sure they got possession, got the ball back for their offense.
William Gay forced the fumble. Carter recovers. Pittsburgh has it at the 39-yard line. And they begin on the ground here with a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 from the 40. Mendenhall, can he get to the outside? DeJuan Landry says, not against me. Tackled after a gain of a yard, 3rd down and 8.
You know, one of the things that I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are missing in this game is their big left guard, Chris Kamuatu. Ramon Foster is doing the best he can up there against Lodi Nada and Kelly Gregg and those guys, but they're a load, and he's having a tough time with them right now.
There he is under the hood.
One of the best pulling guards in football.
3rd and 8. And that pass is knocked down. Dixon, arm coming forward, and that's Ray Lewis who comes in blitzing to knock it down and creates the 4th and 8.
Ray Lewis is killing these backs. Watch this right here. We saw him earlier. Mewelde Moore had to hold him. This time they put in big old Kerry Davis. He just runs right through him. I tell you what, when Ray Lewis gets 3 or 4 yards running at the quarterback, there's no shot.
Daniel Sepulveda comes in to punt. His 4th boot of the night. And the left-footed kicker sends one down to the 14-yard line. And Chris Carr gets smothered in the receiving line with him. The ball is at the 14-yard line. And this is Ray Rice. No gain. You get your 60 minutes of work in every day, don't you, Chris?
Oh, man, I coach those age kids right there all the way through. Both my boys played youth football, and there is nothing better. You want to have some laughs now. Go out there and sign up as an assistant coach with these kids.
I love this. That's a combination Ray Lewis, Drew Brees.
I love it. They're ready to play. Oh, it's so much fun to work with those kids.
2nd and 10. Here's pressure from the backside, and a flag is thrown because that's Woodley who gets there first. Then Hockley comes in with a flag, probably for Hole. Kershke gets there second. Ed's waving off another one, it looks like.
Holding offense number 74. The penalty is declined.
Right, that's what he was
Brings
doing.
up 3rd down.
He's just looking over at the bench saying you want the play or you want the penalty, and you'd rather get the down and give them one less down.
Well, Lamar Woodley, he went to see Michael Orr's movie the other night, and this time he got a sneak preview of what Lamar Woodley can do. Went right around Michael, and he had no choice but to hold him there. Michael very quick, but Woodley said, I've got a little something for him too.
5-yard sack, 3rd down and 15. And now they just look for some extra breathing space here, giving the ball to Ray Rice. He gets it out to the 16-yard line, and that'll force a Baltimore punt.
Kind of as expected this game, don't you think? Just sort of two great football team, defensive teams trying to slug it out, a couple of big plays on either side. And really the surprise so far for me is that these two quarterbacks have played as well as they have against these defenses.
Especially Dixon in his first NFL start. Cook's punt fielded by Logan from the 36-yard line, and they had Logan pinned against the sideline, and he's able to escape and run it back to midfield. If you picked this up late tonight, we talked about Ben Roethlisberger. It's been a big story, obviously, over the last day. The fact he suffered or sustained a concussion in Kansas City last week. Looked as if he would probably play up until Friday. But Dixon is the man, and Dixon from the 50-yard line swings it to the outside. And that's caught by Mendenhall, who stays in bounds, breaks out of a tackle from Jared Johnson, who had him after a gain of a couple, and instead it turns out to be a gain of 20 yards, first down.
You know, this is really interesting. Great patience on the part of Dennis Dixon here. He had a bunch of routes down the field, and typically the Pittsburgh Steelers throw to their backs about as little as any team. Their top 4 receivers are all wideouts and tight ends under Ben Roethlisberger. So there he checks it down, and it paid off as Mendenhall broke a tackle.
From the 30-yard line. Straight drop, good protection, airs it out for the end zone, and Mike Wallace can't make the catch. He goes to the rookie out of Ole Miss, and he's covered by a rookie, Lardarius Webb.
Boy, what a play by Lardarius Webb here. He's completely beaten on the play by one of the fastest receivers in the game, Mike Wallace. He's just completely turned around. Wallace is by him, and he can't find the ball and times it absolutely perfectly. Comes in and smacks away Wallace's hands. Can't do it a lot better than that.
Fortuitous. Second down and 10. Mendenhall squeezes his way to the 25. Roethlisberger was feeling fine all week. The problem was he was developing headaches after practice. Andrea talked about it before the game. Exercise-induced headaches. Was not cleared to play by the neurologist. And then yesterday, he was the man who told Dixon, I'm not playing, you are. And Mike Tomlin actually set it up that way.
Yeah, he didn't say, he said, I don't want to act like I'm panicking about it. Just go tell him he's going to play.
No big deal. All-out blitz. And the pass is too high and incomplete. Everybody coming on that one. Intended for Hines Ward.
7-man blitz that time, and that's the first one I've seen Dennis Dixon flinch on. He just let this one go, and it was flying. They come with 7 guys here. Complete blitz. He stands in there, but that little fadeaway cost him there. Should have had the first down. First bad-looking play I've seen him have. Had to throw it over Jared Johnson. Kind of got him, too.
You get a pass on a 7-man blitz against the Ravens. Who wouldn't flinch? 44-yard attempt by Reed to try to make it a 4-point game, and that one is perfect. Backup quarterback for the Steelers tonight is Tyler Palko, who was activated off the practice squad. He was actually the quarterback at the University of Pittsburgh in 02 through 06, and then Flacco went to Pitt, but he wasn't given the chance to be the starter because Palko was the starter. Walt Harris was there as the coach, and then Dave Wanstead came in, and so Flacco left, and that's how he wound up going to Delaware, Division I AA, and from Delaware, it's tough to become a #1 draft choice, but that's what he was. 2-yard line, Lardarius Webb. And Webb, who made that nice play in the secondary on that last series, is tackled by Joe Burnett. And now Joe Flacco had that ankle taped after he went down on that last series and comes out with a slight limp.
Yeah, and you can see it was the pressure by Woodley, but there it was. I don't have to draw it. I'm going to show it up close. Little bend that ankle over like that, and that was the ankle that had been bothering him. Some people had thought that maybe this little 3-game slump of his had something to do with the ankle. But I asked Flacco about it. He said, absolutely not. That thing hasn't been an issue for weeks now.
From the 32, quick drop and then a quick flip. Caught by Mason. Gain about 3. Ike Taylor makes the tackle.
You know, a lot of people around here have been talking about a sophomore slump because he hadn't thrown a touchdown for 3 games and all that. Yeah, and his November wasn't great. But you look at his numbers across the board: completion percentage, yards per attempt, touchdown percentage, interception percentage, and quarterback rating. All of those better than what he did his rookie year, where he was the star.
Well, Mason just went limping off after he makes that last catch, and now his #1 wideout is on the bench, and Demetrius Williams, 87. comes in on the outside. And they give the ball to LaRon McLean. And McLean will plug his way over right tackle for a first down.
You know, it's interesting to see LaRon McLean back in that one-back sort of setting that he used last year, the big back, and they go with this unbalanced formation. They run him back off the other side. There's Michael Orr, the right tackle, playing over on the left side. But he had 900 yards rushing for this team last year, and his reward was he came back to camp. They made him a fullback. He did go to the Pro Bowl as a fullback last year, but I know he would probably rather be the guy back there carrying the ball.
2 carries tonight, 12 yards for him. And now they go back to Rice, and he takes it up to the 48-yard line. And that time McLean plays the role of the blocking fullback, and there's Mason on the bench.
Yeah, a lot of injuries so far in this one. It was interesting talking to Ray Lewis about Ray Rice. They're very close. They're like best of friends. And Ray said one of the early days of training camp, he went up and said, "Hey, I'm a fan of yours. I watched you in college." Then they had this goal line drill, and Ray Lewis came through, and Ray Rice was coming right at him and popped it outside. And Ray Lewis grabbed him and said, "Don't you ever do that again. This is a north and south game. If you start bouncing it outside, I'm coming to get you." But he hasn't done it since.
2nd and 5. Look out, and busting through is Lawrence Timmons with the sack. Lawrence Timmons almost untouched. Splits the gap, comes roaring through, and that's a 10-yard sack.
Mike Tomlin has to be thrilled with this one because Lawrence Timmons has had 2 bad ankles. Both his ankles have been hurting this season. But when he is right, he is one of the most explosive players on the Steelers defense. He is a tremendous pass blitzer. And you're starting to see him now with some of the form we had last year with him coming after the quarterback. And now so many teams now are forced to slide outside to take care of Woodley and Harrison. It's creating some opportunities to blitz for these inside backers for the Steelers.
That's his 5th sack of the season. Harrison leads the team with 10. 3rd down and 16 now. 6.5 to go in the 3rd. Flacco will take off, but not very far, and that's Lamar Woodley who stops him and exults, and it will be 4th down.
Lamar Woodley is killing the Ravens. They've got him double teamed out here on the outside. First heap, get rid of him. Then Michael Orr, get rid of him. Come here, Joe Flacco. Wow, that's something.
And that'll go into the books as a sack because he got him behind the line of scrimmage, so back-to-back sacks. And now Sam Cook to punt. Cook's averaging 49 yards a kick tonight. Logan backs up from the 14-yard line. And he gets buried up at the 20-yard line. This drive begins at the 20-yard line. And this is Fast Willie to the 21-yard line. What is a Harvard man doing on the bench with a bloody nose like that?
Oh,
Matt Burke.
don't do that. Yeah, that's what the offensive lineman. That's what you look like after one of these games. A lot of blood out there,
even if you are from the yard.
Yep. Coach Ray Lewis has a little blood on him. Maybe somebody else's, but there'll be some blood on him.
Right. 2nd and 10, 5.5, and now you've got nearly encroachment as Miller had backed up, resets in the slot left. And to the outside, that pass is caught. Ward and Hines. Ward pushing Ed Reed all the way up to the 43-yard line. Ed Reed, they've been trying to avoid him tonight, so I haven't called his name very much. That's his 3rd tackle, gain of 22, but Ward and Reed have made each other's acquaintance oftentimes before.
Oh, yeah, and I tell you what, it's one thing with Hines Ward and Ed Reed. There is a history between those two that goes way back. There have been some unbelievable hits by Hines Ward on Ed Reed. I'm surprised he helped him up.
Yep. Well, he just took him for an 11-yard ride after initial contact. Overall, the play gains 22. The ball is at the 42-yard line. Play fake. Dixon with time. Dixon going deep downfield into double coverage, and it's batted away. Ball is at the 42-yard line. 1st down. Or make it 2nd down and 10, and that pass is incomplete on the 2nd and 10, and that pass again intended for Hines Ward, who has 3 catches tonight for 47 yards.
I was a little surprised to see Dixon go so far down the field that last time against Ed Reed. One of the goals that they had for this game was don't let Ed Reed score a touchdown. It's unbelievable when there's a defensive player that you're playing against, you're afraid to throw in his direction because he might put 6 on the board.
3rd and 10. Rush 6, 5 drop back pass incomplete, intended for Wallace, and Chris Carr with the coverage, so it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, I tell you, Dennis Dixon needs to be a little careful now. We're getting late in the game, and he's starting to stare down these receivers a little bit. That time, Chris Carr had a pretty good feel for what he was going to do with that route and jumped it.
Sepulveda averaging 42 yards per kick tonight, and this one will bound into the end zone. Beautiful Sunday night, late November. James Harrison, Lamar Woodley, 2 of the Pittsburgh linebackers as Flacco spins around. Mason back in the game, makes the catch, and takes it up to the 27-yard line and 2nd down and 3.
You know, James Harrison is such a great story for me. Here's a guy that was nearly 28 years old by the time he even made a football team, and he only made it because Bill Cowher promised to keep one guy on the team every year strictly because of special teams. Well, that was the guy right there, James Harrison. And then Joey Porter got thrown out of that game in Cleveland in the pregame warm-ups. You remember that? Harrison got his chance and played really well, and then when Porter's contract came up, they decided to keep Harrison instead.
Again, in Super Bowl history with a play that was off the charts. Mark Clayton takes it up to the 31-yard line. You know, funny thing, you've got Harrison in the game, and you've got David Tyree on the Baltimore roster, and Santonio Holmes on the Pittsburgh roster. In the last 2 years, you have 3 guys who've turned into the 3 epic plays in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it. Boy, that catch by Holmes in the corner of the end zone with all that pressure, that was remarkable. David Tyree was incredible.
1st and 10. This is McLean, and McLean will chug his way out to the 40-yard line. 2nd and 1.
You know, I kind of like this for the Ravens, you know, getting the big guy back involved in this thing because, boy, I tell you what, when you get a big, strong offensive line up front, which they feel pretty good about this offensive line, and get a back this size running through it, you've got some stuff working. I'm a little surprised he's gotten this much action. This is a little different look.
Farrier blew right by him, and now you've got McLean going up to the 47-yard line to move the chains as we tick down to 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd.
Oh, and he took a shot in the back on that one. They've been going so much of that.
Injury timeout with McLean on the ground.
I didn't see it. Did you see the hit?
I think it was the play before initially.
Oh, they're saying Kelly's saying it may have been the play before. I don't know. He got hit right in the kidney. Right here. No? No, the knee. That knee, that left knee is what got him. Yeah. Right. That's a kidney shot, right? I do have my body parts right here. Right there. It was the other one. You could see the left knee go right where he held it after the play. Now,
how's the sun? Okay.
Yeah. You got that, and then the next one, he got a knee right in the back, right in that same spot, I think. No, I think it was the other side. He got beat to crap. You're going to see his, watch this right knee come in here, or left knee. That's, I thought I saw it. I didn't see it that time, but I did see it the time before. Yeah.
Here's McLean. On the play before that, he got up holding his side, and here he comes again. So they'll take him to the bench.
You're going to get 28 yards against the Steelers. You're going to earn them. Take a few shots along the way, too. But there is no shortage of good running backs here with the Ravens.
And we have Rice and McGahee, and Rice is back in the game. Late third, 1st and 10 from the 47. And Flacco throws that behind Mason. Mason cutting to the inside, and Flacco throwing it to the outside. 2nd down and 10. And tonight the Steelers, who are averaging just 69 yards per game against them on the ground, #1 in the league, giving up 107 yards rushing.
Yeah, doesn't help when number 43 is sitting over there in street clothes either. He's the closer. He's the one that fills in that gap from behind.
2nd and 10. And inside give out of the gun, and that doesn't fool Harrison, who stands him up and pushes him back to the ground at the 43-yard line.
James Harrison, the reigning defensive MVP on the end of the line of scrimmage. Watch how he comes so tightly down the line. You put on the tape, and these Steelers defenders are so disciplined in their pursuit lanes. He's never going to allow you to get outside of him. Then he's going to come straight down that line of scrimmage, and it's amazing how many tackles he runs into as running backs try to cut it back.
3rd and 12. And he's swinging out to Rice, and Rice with a great move for a 1st down. Cut to the inside, broke out of a William Gay tackle, and turns a 5-yard gain and a sure punt into a 19-yard gain and a 1st down.
Well, you know, this is just one player being better than the other. You got William Gay on the outside. He's got him squared up, and he barely puts a finger on him. Deshae Townsend misses. Ryan Clark misses. That's just a football player making a great play. Look at this. This is what we've been seeing all year out of Ray Rice. I know the Cincinnati Bengals remember trying to tackle this guy. Wow.
If Gay gets him, it's 4th and about 11. Now another cutback, and coming up is Tyrone Carter to knock him down, and that will take us to the 4th quarter. Start the 4th quarter in Baltimore. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Andrea Kramer. Sunday night football. A 4-point Raven lead, and on 2nd and 7, it's dropped on the outside by Mark Clayton. It'll be 3rd down. Very important game. Cincinnati with an 8-3 record on their way to the AFC North title, barring a tremendous collapse. The wild card race looking like this right now. Denver 7-4. And now Pittsburgh trying to get there as well. Jacksonville losing today. Miami losing today. Houston losing today. Jets and Tennessee winning. So all of those teams with 5 victories. But a vital game tonight for the Ravens, and very important for the Steelers as well. On 3rd down and 7, going deep from Mason. And the coverage
that was close.
is good, and no flag, and Ike Taylor was there one-on-one with him.
Everybody in the stadium was looking. Ike Taylor got beat on a double move, and did he get his hands in there before that ball came down? Little double move here by Mason. He's beat. A lot of grappling going on. Let's see.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
That's a tough one right there. Really kind of kept Mason from getting to the ball. I think that one should have been placed on the... Let's take one more look.
Make a case for it. A 52-yard field goal. Billy Cundiff.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's 4th down and 7. And, well, they originally lined up, and now they send in the punting group.
Yeah, and John Harbaugh is old special teams guy with Philadelphia. I saw the punt team huddled up over there. I think he was just messing with them a little.
Now they had to burn a timeout to think about what they were going to do on 4th down and 7. So Cook comes in to punt, and Moelde Moore is back. And that takes A bounce all the way back to the 19-yard line, and then Harrison comes in there, and James Harrison.
But that's all right. Once the Ravens touch the
Ravens
football,
had touched it. It's all over.
Then Harrison has the right to try and pick it up and advance it and not have to worry about losing the ball.
With impunity.
Yep.
Been a good game. You know what's the most interesting thing, though? When the schedule comes out at the beginning of the year, you're looking at Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Oh, battle for first place in the AFC North. But your Bengals right now 8-3, and they've swept each of these teams this season. So who would have thought these two teams are fighting for a wild card?
I guarantee you, neither one of these teams thought the Bengals were going to get them twice at this point in the season, but that's exactly what happened and why they're in the precarious position they're in.
And these two teams in the first of two meetings. They'll meet in 3 weeks in Pittsburgh. And Mendenhall all the way out to the 32-yard line, tackled there by DeJuan Landry. Gain of 14.
Well, they love pulling guards around here, and that time it was Trey Essex coming out this way and leading the way. This is the one they were faking earlier. Remember all the play action stuff? That was kind of the look they were giving. I'll tell you, this Rashard Mendenhall has really proven himself to be the #1 back in Pittsburgh.
He gets it again. And he runs right into Tavares Gooden, second year out of the University of Miami, 3rd-round pick last year.
Well, I tell you, Ramon Foster is no Chris Kamawatu pulling around. That's their favorite play, that power O. This is their bread and butter right up here through, and Kamawatu is so good at this, but Foster just doesn't have the foot speed. You can see he really slowed down Mendenhall on that one, and that hurts.
Free agent rookie is Foster out of Tennessee. 2nd and 9. Play action. Dixon does it incomplete. Mike Wallace was the intended receiver, and Ladarius Webb forced the issue on a corner blitz.
Well, if I have to be perfectly honest, as good as Dixon was in the first half, he has been about that bad so far in the second half. That's a wide open receiver there, and Mike Wallace. You don't get many shots like that against the Ravens. That's a huge miss.
And those numbers reflected it. 2 of 8. 3rd and 9. And it's caught out in the flat. And this is Miller, who can't go anywhere as he's taken down by Frank Walker. And so a 3 and out, and Pittsburgh to punt.
You can see Dixon pointing off to his right. He thinks the blitz is coming over here. Instead, it all comes this way, and he ends up having to throw that thing hot out there to Heath Miller. Here they come. Don't have it picked up, and Miller has his chance here, but kind of tripped over the carpet.
Ooh, and then a very high snap, and Sepulveda is able to get it off after leaping to grab it, and then this is Chris Carr breaking tackles and finally forced out of bounds up at around the 41-yard line.
There are bodies lying all over the field on that one.
34-yard return after that high snap, and there's Dominique Foxworth playing on special teams, starting cornerback, who's hurt.
Yeah, there was a lot of sort of, was it a late hit, was it a block in the back, all that kind of stuff going on here. But for Carr, that was a tremendous run back. Let's take a look at Foxworth, see how he ends up getting hurt. You cannot go down low. He did not, though. He just tried to meet it. But let's keep an eye on him, because he is a starting corner, and if he's not back out there, you know where you're going to attack.
So again, with the Steelers, special teams coverage, major problem. This time it's on a punt. Oft times it's been on kickoff returns. 2-yard gain here for Ray Rice to the 39-yard line.
I'll tell you, Lamar Woodley has just been something special in this game so far. They've paid so much attention in past games to James Harrison. See Woodley on the end of the line of scrimmage there. Goes through this block here and just makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. They paid so much attention to Harrison, and they started going back and looking at the tapes, and they say, really, the guy's been beating us is Woodley. So they had a special plan for him, but he's overcome all their plans.
McLean was shaken up in the last series in the game. Flacco steps away, and then his arm gets hit. Is it a live ball? You got Lawrence Timmons coming in. Steelers think they have it, and Ed Hockley confirms it. So before his arm is coming forward, at least that is the call on the field. It's Lawrence Timmons who forces the fumble.
Same blitz we saw earlier. Good call.
Steelers have really turned up the heat. Timmons 2 sacks, including that sack fumble. Woodley has 1. Kershke has 1. Steelers have 4 sacks in this half. And it's 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Foxworth, who was shaken up on the punt return, is back in the game. Bottom of the screen, locked up on Holmes. And Mendenhall exploits that hole. He loves to spin around. Takes the ball to the 48-yard line.
Dick LeBeau designed such great blitzes. I want you to watch Brett Kiesel here. He's going to set up Lawrence Timmons by coming hard inside here against Ben Grubbs. And that's going to allow Timmons to have a shorter path to Joe Flacco. That shortened path is what allowed Timmons to get there just before Flacco got that one off.
Short path and a clear path. 2nd down and 3. And again, it's Mendenhall charging hard, and they're going to spot that ball just inches shy of a 1st down.
Every time these two teams play, it reminds me in training camp when you do that goal line and short yardage scrimmage. You don't scrimmage a lot in training camp, but there's always that couple of days where it's the biggest and the best of the defense and the biggest and the best of the offense, and they all fight for 1 yard. And that's what this game has turned into and what this play is specifically all about.
And what this rivalry has turned into. David Johnson lines up as the fullback. Mendenhall is the running back, and Dixon's going to keep it himself on a sneak and has the 1st down.
Well, I tell you, the one thing they were a little worried about in Pittsburgh for this ball game, and certainly Dennis Dixon is a guy that can run the football, but how often do you want to run him, knowing what your backup quarterback situation is? Tyler Palko has been here for about 3 days, and so they don't want to get him hurt, but they know that's a big part of his game as well.
At least it's a sneak.
Yeah.
Ball at the 43. Blitz coming, picked up nicely. Caught 30-yard line by Santonio Holmes, and that'll be a 1st down. He's tackled by Foxworth. A gain of 13 in the ball at the Raven 30-yard line.
Well, the old cross blitz that the Pittsburgh Steelers love to run. Going to get them in here and then back here, and watch Mendenhall pick up Ray Lewis here on this one. He's been the only one so far able to do that. May have been a bit of a read blitz there too. Ray may have had him in coverage.
Spot the ball at the 29-yard line. Mendenhall again. There's more pirouettes than Peggy Fleming ever did. Gain of 2. I'm just getting ready for the Winter Olympics, that's all.
I could use a little boning up for the Winter Olympics. I'm not prepared yet for some triple axes over there.
Second down and 8. Crowd exhorting and imploring its defense. And for years, it's been all about defense in this town. And we've got a false start here. which is going to make it 2nd down and 13.
False start offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty.
Left tackle,
2nd down.
Max Starks.
Yeah, the Ravens did a little late shift there right in front of Max Starks that got him to jump. They were going to come with a corner or a safety blitz off the edge. And when Max saw all that movement, it made him move.
Second down, 13. And he got a flag because Naka had come across the line. So they're going to get those 5 back.
Offside defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Giveth and taketh. Back to 2nd and 8.
Kind of way this game's gone, isn't it? I
Yep.
tell you, sometimes when a veteran center readjusts at just before the snap, like Justin Hartwig did, you get a well, look at all those scratches. That's when you're playing a game like this, you get a lot of scratches on your helmet. Bodie Nada probably leads the team in scratches on that helmet.
And dents. Mendenhall is going to take the ball to the 24-yard line, and this will set up a big 3rd and 5 as we tick down under 7 minutes remaining in regulation.
How much do you trust Dennis Dixon at this point? I tell you, I would like to see him out on the edge here. Remember the bootleg they ran a little earlier? Something to give him a little run pass option. Key moment in the game right now. If you're going to run him, this would be the spot.
He's got Holmes and Ward both to the left. Wallace to the right. Wallace in motion. The fake, the inside give to him, and Dixon's going to run it himself. Inside the 10 and into the end zone goes Dennis Dixon. Father and sister. And new big brother right there.
Oh boy, a lot of people just joined the family on that one. They're coming with an all-out blitz, so there's no pursuit here. Dennis Dixon with a great fake, and then his speed just took over on the outside. What a call.
Nice block by Mawilde Moore on the way to the end zone. 24 yards on a 3rd and 5. And Reed to make it a 3-point game. What a game this has turned out to be. 6:24 left in regulation. Kickoff fielded by Lardarius Webb from the 1-yard line. And Webb brings the ball back out to the 27, and another penalty.
During the return, illegal block in the back by the receiving team, number 17. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Baltimore keeps the ball, 1st down.
And that's the Giants Super Bowl hero, David Tyree. Downtown Baltimore, M&T Bank Stadium. Ravens begin this drive from the 10, down by a field goal. And Flacco will throw to the outside, and he starts with a completed pass and a 1st down to Mason, and we go back to Dixon's touchdown.
Well, you can anticipate blitz in this situation, and they certainly got it here. But what it did was it locked up all the pursuit inside. And you also have to play man coverage. Check out Heath Miller here. He's got Dwan Landry. He's even going to give him the hook. Runs out the back of the end zone. Then you turn to the guy and go, gotcha.
From the 21-yard line, Flacco fires over the middle, and that's caught. And in a vice was Clayton, and he's able to hang in. Ryan Clark was there with the coverage, and that's a 20-yard gain and another 1st down.
There are men playing in this football game this time. Mark Clayton, what a catch. He knew he was going to get drilled on this one. Gets sandwiched between 2 defenders and hangs on to the ball. Big shot by Ryan Clark. Great catch that time by Mark Clayton.
He's their leading receiver tonight. That's 6 catches, and he has 118 receiving yards. the 41-yard line. Swing it to the outside, and the coverage is perfect this time. Mason makes the catch, and Ike Taylor, a little swagging, as he likes to say in his intro.
He gave up the touchdown a little earlier, and you get the feeling because Joe Flacco loves Derek Mason in clutch situations. And Ike Taylor's been out there sort of one-on-one against him for the most part in this game, and you get the feeling it may come down to a showdown, a personal battle between those two.
Second and 9. Steelers blitz, and that forces Flacco to throw quickly and incomplete to the outside, and a big 3rd and 9 upcoming here.
Well, they did. They came with a blitz. And
tripping, offense number 27.
Ouch.
10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat second down.
And that would be Ray Rice.
Looked like he threw a pretty good block initially. I didn't see the trip initially, but I'm sure Ed didn't miss this one. Right there. He goes low and gets the cut. And I guess, yeah, as he's rolling over, he put that leg up and tripped him. Really didn't even need it.
Chris, here's one of the situations. If I'm a coach, I don't know whether I'd rather have 2nd and 19, which they've opted for, or decline it and make it 3rd and 9. Just give him one more down. Flacco sets up the screen, and this is Rice. And Rice gets taken down at the 29-yard line. Brett Kiesel is the first guy there. And that play may have been designed particularly well, but not manifested particularly well.
Yeah, watch Rice. He's going to come over and fake a block and then slip out on the screenplay here. And Brett Kiesel, number 99, the old vet, smells it. He jumps out there and makes the play. It really looked like it was set up for a minute, but Kiesel was just too smart.
3rd and 22. Each of these teams this year has had trouble finishing games. Which team's going to finish tonight? 3rd and 22. Flacco throws over the middle. That's caught. Good game, but short of the first down. They gave him a lot of cushion. Ball is caught by Derek Mason at the 46-yard line, and that makes it 4th down and 5. The crowd wants Harbaugh to go for it, but you can't in this situation.
No, you really can't. You've got one of the top defenses in football, and
interesting strategy here as John Harbaugh calls a timeout. Among other things, that's his 2nd timeout. We all know what happened in Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago. Now he's down to 1 timeout plus the 2-minute warning. You have 3.5 minutes to go. You're opting to go for it on a 4th down and 5. The clock will also stop at the 2-minute warning, but this is the Baltimore Ravens with their defense. Very interesting call.
Be ready for Ray Rice. There he is out on Ferrier.
On 4th and 5, and that is caught. And he comes up with aces. And it's Rice inside the 20 to the 10-yard line. Well, sometimes you look like a bum, and sometimes you look like a genius.
Well, Ray Rice has been so dynamic. When he goes in motion and Ferrier goes with him, Joe Flacco knows right now that's one-on-one on the outside with one of his top receivers, and it was no contest.
And now Pittsburgh,
Timeout, Pittsburgh.
shaken by that turn of events, takes a timeout prior to a 1st and goal at the 10.
Well, John Harbaugh, who was involved in a little controversial timeout call a week ago, what a big call that was for him. You've got to have some guts, you know, even if they had not made it. I guess he's thinking, well, even if they kick a field goal on me, I can still score a touchdown and win this football game. But Ray Rice has been so huge all year. See if you can watch here. James Ferrier and Ray Rice, they're going to move together. As they do, there is no question now in anybody's mind what this is. This is man coverage, no doubt. Flacco reads it. And Ray Rice, as he's done all season long, comes up huge. What a player that young man is.
And what a call. And what a thin line in this league between genius and moron.
Really.
First and goal from the 10. Inside give to Rice. And Rice will take the ball down to the 5-yard line. So now you've got Pittsburgh with 2 timeouts. You have Baltimore with 1. They're not thinking about that right now. You're Mike Tomlin. You have to start thinking about what you're going to do here. The clock will stop at the 2-minute warning. And if they don't get a touchdown, it will probably go down to the 2-minute warning here. But Pittsburgh, obviously the key thing for Pittsburgh here is to limit them to a field goal.
Yeah, I think you're going to see. I'd be surprised if they're throwing it too much here.
Second and goal.
Pittsburgh blitzing.
On the ground again. This is going to take us to the 2-minute warning, as that's Rice who gets stopped at the 5-yard line. Uncharacteristic of the Steelers, in recent years, 3 of their 4 losses this season have come after having a 4th quarter lead, and they're in jeopardy tonight of another one. Third and goal. The ball is spotted at the 6-yard line. 2 minutes to go. And Flacco to throw. And the throw to fade, and that is incomplete. And it's intended for Todd Heap. The coverage was very good. And John Harbaugh, he'd like to have that play called back.
Yeah, and Deshae Townsend kind of got Todd Heap right here at the tail end of this play, but fortunately for him, the ball landed out of bounds, and so I think they would have called it uncatchable anyway. But there was definitely a shot at that one, and Flacco made sort of the safe throw and set up this field goal, but there was an opportunity there.
Here's Cundiff now for a 24-yard attempt. Cook puts it down, and the kick is just inside the right upright.
This 15-round fight might go a few extra rounds tonight.
Right.
It's all right with me. This is fun.
1:51 left in regulation.
Wow, this is just big plays, big defensive sacks, big momentum shifts, and I tell you that this game really, to me, means much more to John Harbaugh and the Ravens than even it does the Steelers. The Steelers are going to get the Ravens still in Pittsburgh, and I can create a lot of scenarios, Roethlisberger coming back and the Steelers schedule and all those things for them hanging around the wild card spot and still making the playoffs. But for the Ravens, you get the feeling they really need to win this football game and hold serve against the Steelers at home here.
No question, because they come in having lost 5 of 7. They go to Green Bay next Monday night, so that's tough. They still have to go, as you say, to Pittsburgh. And even if Pittsburgh were to lose, they'd still be 6-5. They've got Oakland at home next week. A lot can happen, but more impactful for Baltimore. 17 all, 1:51. Cundiff pile driving the ball before he puts it on the tee. Stephon Logan back at the goal line. Logan drifts to the 4. And he brings the ball out to the 24-yard line. So here comes Dixon against that Raven defense. Ray Lewis, of course, the heart and soul of it. And with Jeff Reed as your kicker, he looks to get the ball to around the 30-yard line of the Baltimore Ravens to give Reed a decent chance at it. He says the range is 55 yards. We'll see. They'd rather see something like around 46.
Or 20.
Or 10. From the 25. 4-man line, 4-man rush, and 7 dropping back, and that pass is thrown into the Ravens bench. Antonio Holmes was the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
You know, it's interesting. We were talking to Mike Tomlin last night about this very situation, the end of the ball game, and he said, you know, it might actually be tougher for Dixon if they played a zone and drop back as opposed to a blitz, because when you blitz, you get one-on-one coverage. That time the Ravens went zone, and Dixon struggled.
4 rushing and 7 back. They did on that last play. 2nd and 10. And again, just 4 rushing, and the pass is deflected and almost intercepted, and that's Lardarius Webb, rookie from Nicholls State, getting the start for the injured Fabian Washington and almost turning it into a Raven lead.
Lucky stuff right there. Lardarius Webb had that one measured all the way. Dennis Dixon with a terrible read on that one. I wouldn't be surprised if they handed off, run a draw, and punt it here. He has been shaky against this zone. Better not throw it to Ed Reed.
And you're right, and to give it to Moore, and he's going to get bunched up. And now the Ravens have 1 timeout. And they opt to take it here.
That's their 3rd and final timeout.
So they're out of timeouts, and the Steelers could only take 23 seconds off the clock on those 3 plays.
I think Bruce Arians had seen enough.
Yep. Playing for overtime. Wendy's post-game report. Bob is here. We got Tony back in New York to weigh in. Andrea will have an interview with the star or stars of the game.
Interesting, it's not Ed Reed back returning this kick. Remember the one last week late in the game trying to make a play, lateraled it, and ended the game by fumbling the ball.
Cost them a chance to maybe get into field goal range and win. And Reed is up there to attempt to block it, and he's also very proficient at that. Carr takes Sepulveda's kick from the 26-yard line, and Carr down the sideline, and a flag is thrown, and Sepulveda is able to make the tackle, but as is so often the case on runbacks, and Pittsburgh saying, oh, it's coming back, no problem.
Boy, I tell you what, Chris Carr has been close twice and had them both called back.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 56 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, Baltimore keeps the ball, 1st down.
Tavares Gooden.
Boy, oh boy, they were in field goal range without that call. And you can see Bruce Arians working on Dennis Dixon on that sideline, but his zone reads. And that's the block in the back, number 56 right there, just kind of ran him by. I'm not sure he would have made the play at all. That's one of those you just try and shield him instead of making contact. Gooden didn't.
From the 29 on 1st down. Ravens without a timeout. Throw it underneath to Rice. And Rice thought about cutting it back inside, then realizes that it's more important to save a little time on the clock and steps out at the 35.
I'll tell you, Rice has been doing this all season long. He stays into block. He's a short little guy, but he is a nasty blocker. And then after he secures his block, he sneaks out late, and linebackers just can't run with him. I mean, that has been a major part of this Ravens offense this season.
101 yards from scrimmage in this half for him. 2nd down and 4. Blitz coming. Caught by Heap on the outside, and Heap is out of bounds. Tyrone Carter forcing him out and stopping the clock with 65 seconds and a 1st down.
Yeah, a great read that time by Joe Flacco as they had to throw it hot off the right side. Got a little pick play going down the field that time against Tyrone Carter, the safety, which really popped Todd Heap wide open.
If the range is 53, according to Cundiff, have to get the ball to the 35-yard line to get him in that range. 1st and 10 from the 41. Flacco takes the low snap and then throws, and that pass is incomplete. Derek Mason down the middle. 2nd and 10.
Boy, that battle is getting pretty intense on the outside. Ike Taylor going against Derek Mason, just one-on-one. That time Mason was able to get inside Taylor at top of the screen. Had a little room here on the post. But it was Timmons who ran underneath it that I think scared Flacco just a bit.
Pumps, Down the sideline.
Oh,
is there a flag?
Yes, sir.
Yep. That's Mason and Ike Taylor again.
It was definitely illegal contact.
No
now
question.
The question is it pass interference?
Right. Was it even catchable?
Was the contact there while the ball was in the air? Because if it is, it's the spot of the foul. If not, it's 5 yards from the line of scrimmage.
There were 2 fouls by the defense on the play. Illegal contact, number 24. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, number 24. That penalty is enforced. The ball is placed.
Got him for
Spot of
both.
the foul. First down.
Yeah, Ike Taylor's gotten away with a few tonight, but not this time around. Mason with this little double move here. Stop. Go. Now he's going to grab him beyond 5 yards. There's your illegal contact. Now you see the ball, no choice. Kind of grab him, impede his progress, and they get him for both.
So now Cundiff is within range after the 24-yard penalty. The ball is at the 35-yard line. They swing it outside for Heath. And another flag down. 13 accepted penalties in this game.
That's terrible that time by Mark Clayton.
Yep, and already 8 of them
Pass
against Baltimore.
interference offense, number 89, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And that takes them out of field goal range.
The same way that Todd Heap got open earlier in this drive, this time Mark Clayton just blatant as he comes up and tries to set the pick here. And instead of just doing it subtly where you're not going to end up getting caught, he comes down and just whacks him. Ball's still in the air. That's not even close.
9 penalties, 80 yards. Dixon hopeful of getting back out there and not having this game end on a field goal. 1st and 20. Flacco stepping up, stepping away, and then throws it away into the Baltimore bench, making it 2nd down and 20 as Lawrence Timmons was able to come through and force it.
Yeah, they were sending safeties, Timmons, and everything. The one thing that Joe Flacco said about this game, though, he said the pass rush of the Pittsburgh Steelers, you either have to step up and throw it or step up and sprint like crazy. He said you cannot hang around the fringe of the pocket. They're too dangerous. They'll strip that ball out of there.
2nd and 20. Flacco staying in the pocket, throws, and that'll be caught at the 34-yard line by Clayton. Tackled there by Gay. So they're back to within what Cundiff says is his range. This would be about a 52-yard field goal from this spot. 3rd down and 9. Baltimore no timeouts, and then Flacco is back out of field goal range as he gets sacked, and there's a fumble. James Farrier created it, and if Baltimore has the ball, as the clock is still running, the ball is at the 37-yard line. Here comes Cundiff for what would be a 56-yard field goal. They get set. The kick is on the way, and the kick is going to be just short.
Wow.
So
We will go to
Cundiff
an overtime.
on target, but just short.
Oh, man, that was close.
Oh, by about 3 yards. Well, he was right. He said his range was 53, and that was 56. And we will go to overtime.
Everybody's out of breath around here. James Farrier just coming right up, and that time Ray Rice, instead of blocking him, tried to escape and get out on the route. There he is, Farrier, and Ray Rice just for some reason doesn't pick him up, and his quarterback gets whacked.
And then Matt Burke was able to recover it, and this was a 56-yard attempt at the gun. True, but short.
We'll now have a sudden death overtime. The first team to score wins. We go to a 15-minute quarter. If the score is still tied after 15 minutes, the game is a tie. Each team has 2 timeouts. Pittsburgh, it's your choice. Who will call the toss? Tails. Tails. The call is tails. The call is tails. It is tails. Pittsburgh has won the toss. You wish to receive just the way you're set up there. Pittsburgh will receive, kicking this way.
So we go to overtime. The Steelers 6-4, Baltimore 5-5. As we close out the 12th week of the season. The overtime rules, first team to score obviously wins the game. You can play a maximum of 15 minutes. No challenges. All the reviews from the booth. A very interesting thing happened on that field goal, and after this kickoff, we're going to show it to you. But meanwhile, Dennis Dixon's going to have a chance to be a major hero. Pittsburgh gets it. This is Logan from the 7-yard line. And Logan spins away out of bounds at the 24. There would have been such hell to pay for this officiating crew if Cundiff's kick was good. Why? Because in the final 2 minutes, if you fumble forward, in other words, the offense has it. Here's Flacco. That ball should have been spotted right there, even though Burke recovered it at the 34-yard line to set up a 52-yard field goal. That's where they spotted it, where Burke recovered it. The rule says it should have been spotted back at the 42, which would have made it a 59-yard or 60-yard field goal. It probably wouldn't have even attempted it. But if Cundiff had made that, there would have been hell to pay.
I always said they should give you a whistle.
No, not really. No, thank you.
You got it.
From the 22-yard line, first down. And this is Rashard Mendenhall to the 26-yard line.
It is really significant right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers to reestablish their running game. We saw in that last drive when they tried to go hurry up with Dennis Dixon and just throw the ball against a soft defense. He really did not understand that concept as well as some of those blitz concepts.
2nd and 7 from the 26-yard line. Mendenhall. And Mendenhall rolls forward to about the 32, just short of a first down.
Big block that time by David Johnson, the fullback. This is an intentional cutback play because they're going to come over here and trap. It's something the Steelers really like to do. Gets the defense flowing that way. Johnson gets that block, and they get very close to a first down.
David Johnson lines up as the fullback, and Dixon's going to lunge for a first down. Looked like he was stopped initially, a little shy of it, and then with that extra effort gets across the line and moves the chains. First down.
Boy, Kelly Gregg that time, the nose tackle, just takes Hartwig and crams him back into Dixon, but Dixon sort of falls off of that one and manages to pick up the first down. Nice play by Dennis Dixon.
At the 33. Double tight end set. Ward comes in on a wing. Give it to Mendenhall. And that workhorse takes the ball up to the 37-yard line. Rashard tonight, 22 carries, 90 yards, averaging a little over 4 per tote.
Remember back when heavyweight fights were 15 rounds, and in round 14 and 15, the guys looked like they had no arms, and they're just kind of slinging with everything they got, and that's kind of what this thing's turned into.
This rivalry's turned into it. 2nd and 6. Dixon, clean pocket, going deep for Wallace, and Wallace makes the catch out of bounds. And it will be 3rd down and 6 as he goes to the rookie out of Ole Miss.
Well, Mike Wallace does a nice job here initially getting by, but Dixon is going to lead him too far just out of bounds. Good job that time by Chris Carr, not taking the pass interference call. It's easy to get nervous in that situation, and Hackett, that receiver, he held his turf. He's had a nice game, a couple of big returns and a big play there.
Crowd standing and stopping and towels waving, white towels. 3rd and 6. And Dixon throws, and that is incomplete. Over the middle, intended for Santonio Holmes, and Pittsburgh forced to punt.
Right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are making sure by motioning a tight end into the backfield that they're not going to get that all-out blitz. But I think I would invite it, because what I've seen of Dennis Dixon is that he does much better when they're blitzing against him than against that zone 4-man rush.
Good point. Carr's going to let this Sepulveda punt go.
These two defenses win as many games on the defensive side as they do on the offensive side, so it's kind of hard to say who has the advantage right now.
Flacco stepping up, getting away from the pressure, and then throwing incomplete. Flacco that time got hit at the end by James Harrison. Took a shot, 2nd down.
Well, James Harrison blocked initially on the play, but then he's going to duck back inside, and as Flacco steps up to make this throw, Joe Flacco is earning his paycheck tonight. This is a shot, of course, you cannot drive the quarterback down into the ground. It's going to be a rip shot there.
2nd and 10. 4-man rush. And diving for it and not making the catch is Mason. Could not control it. 3rd down.
Not a good throw by Joe Flacco that time. Derek Mason with an absolutely beautiful route. Got himself wide open here on the outside. Yep. Well, you can control it. The ball can touch the ground. We all know that rule now. Was it controlled? Was it not? Moot point now.
3rd down and 10 from the 17. Rush 5 this time. And again he goes down, and it's incomplete. Kelly Washington was the intended receiver. Townsend with the coverage on the play. It'll be 4th and 10.
That time the umpire got in the way of Kelly Washington, almost cost the Ravens an interception. Watch right here. Washington's trying to come across, but he has to go in behind the official, and that ball could have easily been picked off.
Sam Cook to punt. Logan is back at his own 35-yard line. Logan will call for a fair catch at the 45-yard line. To secure the football at that point with 11:38 remaining in overtime, or looking at it another way, 3:22 into it.
Yeah, and remember what the big play of the night for Dennis Dixon was. It was that fake and then come out around the corner and run the football.
And the importance of this game illustrated there. Pittsburgh would go to 7-4, so Denver and Pittsburgh would be in the wild card slots if Pittsburgh wins and the season ended today. Huge game for Baltimore to try to go to 6-5 from the 45. Mendenhall to the outside. And Mendenhall with a hard-earned 4 yards up to the 49-yard line.
I tell you, I just get the feeling that some kind of bootleg, some side of a quarterback run, some sort of a, that right now the Ravens are flying so fast to the football, some sort of misdirection here might really be effective.
Mendenhall again. Gets to the 50-yard line. Ray Lewis beats him right there. Paul Kruger, rookie out of Utah as well. 3rd and 5.
Big moments, call on big players. Ray Lewis, as he's done so often tonight, meets Mendenhall in the hole.
Lewis blitzes. Pass is intercepted at the 45 by Paul Kruger. The rookie to the 28-yard line. Paul Kruger, second-round draft choice out of Utah, who was just in on the last play as well, has played in only 3 games this year with an interception to set them up to win the game.
Ray Lewis is going to blitz. Kruger is going to drop. Dick LeBeau sees his defense come back to haunt the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is the zone blitz right there, and the Ravens executed perfectly. And for Dennis Dixon, those are the things you just do not see unless you get a chance to play in the National Football League. They don't run a lot of that in the Pac-10.
So the ball is at the 28, already in field goal range. First down, Pittsburgh's first turnover of the night. Playing it conservatively to the 26-yard line. Ray Rice tackled by Woodley.
Yeah, I would be stunned if you see the Ravens throw the football here the remainder of the way. There have just been too many bad things that have happened to Joe Flacco on some of these blitz packages. You do not want to give it back to the Pittsburgh Steelers without at least attempting a field goal.
And there is Cundiff, who's sitting at home in Arizona a couple of weeks ago, watching Stephen Hauschka have his problems and then getting the call after he had played with Cleveland earlier this season. And to the 20-yard line goes Ray Rice to make it 3rd down and 2.
Ravens playing right now with 6 offensive linemen in the game. They've taken out the tight end in the unbalanced line and just made it 6 offensive linemen. They know exactly what they're going to do.
At the moment, it would be a 38-yard attempt. 3rd and 2. Here's Rice. And Rice will take it to the 14, and now they're down to about a 32-yard field goal attempt.
What a great run by Ray Rice on this one. The Steelers had 2 linebackers come shoot right in the hole, right up here, and Ray Rice is going to see it and just make a move on both of them and jump inside and pick up that first down. He is some young player.
82 yards rushing tonight for Rice. Most anybody has gained against the Steelers on the ground this season. From the 15. Rice again. Cuts it back. Now they go to the 9-yard line.
This time James Harrison thinks he's got him dead in the hole. Ray Rice with a jump cut on the defensive MVP of the league. And Harrison barely gets a finger on him. Well, at some point now, how many more shots you want to take before you kick the field goal, or do you kick the field goal? The way they're moving, they might just try and run it in.
I think you take one more shot. If you don't get the first down, you attempt the field goal in case there's a bad snap on 3rd down. And right now, they'd run that one play to the center of the field to set up Cundiff. And why fool around anymore? You might as well try it on 3rd down just in case of a bad snap. That gives you another chance.
No question.
So Roethlisberger has to console Dixon. Cundiff will set up for a 29-yard field goal attempt. And Tomlin looks like he's getting ready to call a timeout. But he doesn't, and the kick is good. What a ball game. And unlikely heroes all over the place. Dixon early. and Paul Kruger late.